You know, I've got my best dad ever sign right here, right? Okay, it's a huge honor to have this here every day. Certainly 6 months running now. I'm best dad ever.
No competition.
Well, I mean, there might be competition, but so I'm going to put a place in front of it for our next guest. This was a bobblehead we got in our days with AT&T when we used to be part of the same family. The NBA on TNT bobblehead set. There we go.
We brought that
Shaq
home
and
from
Ernie
Atlanta.
and
Good sounds, Rich.
and Charles and our next guest. I placed that right there on the desk for my next guest, fellow native New Yorker, one of the best analysts in the business of one of the best shows on television, two-time NBA champion, and the man who's going to be talking also about his Jet Academy, Kenny the Jet Smith. How are you, Kenny?
Hey, man, what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I got your bobblehead right here. I got it right here. You know, you've probably seen this, all four of you guys, and your bobblehead right at your desk.
Collector's item, man, right there. I have them, but my kids have broken them up, so like
Yeah.
someone's. It looks like in my house the bobbleheads look like it's a Roman thing where the nose is missing, an arm is missing.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like a Roman thing.
I got to be honest with you.
house.
I can say this sort of thing, that they definitely put more hair on Ernie. And Charles and Shaq are slimmed down. This is not real. You're as close to real as they have on this bobblehead set, Kenny.
Hey, man, that's my motto. We keep it real here.
Yeah, I got it. Absolutely. We're from the same city. I totally get it. I understand.
No doubt. No doubt.
All right, Kenny, what's going on with Harden? What do you know? What can you tell me? What do you think's going on with him?
From outside looking in, just like everyone else. I've met James, on occasion. I don't know him well,
Okay.
And but just outside looking in, he's a guy who's like looking at his career. If I was him, this is what I'd be thinking: am I going to win a championship? Like seriously, if I'm going to win a championship being here in Houston, are they putting the right pieces around me? We changed. I was really comfortable with the D'Antoni system. He put the ball in my hand. And they were making moves. Like, we bring in Westbrook, like I said, it don't work, but, they're making moves. But am I going to win a championship here with this new regime? That would be my question. And I think that's his question. I don't know if he wants to be out of Houston, but I know he wants to be out of a situation that doesn't want to be, if I was him, that's not going to win a championship. I only got about 3 or 4 more years of this, like, where I could carry a team. Like, where I'm carrying a team pretty much basically by myself, where I could get you to the semifinals of the West. After that, I'm not able to do it. So if I'm James Harden, that's what I'm saying right now.
And if you're James Harden, what do you think, Kenny? I mean, you know the Houston organization well. Do you think that's
I don't know this one well.
Okay.
But I would say you'd have to sit me down and convince me that what we're doing or going to do is going to have me an opportunity to be in the Western Conference Finals the next 3 years. Because the way I'm looking at it, the Clippers and the Lakers are ahead of them. We were ahead of them for 2 years when Chris Paul was here, even though, it didn't work out. But we were there. And we're not there anymore.
So I guess this would also not lend much credence to whatever reporting that's out there that Harden was working out with John Wall and kind of gave a green light to Houston to swap Wall for Westbrook. If he's thinking that this isn't the right mix, do you think it could be the right mix?
I think, a healthy John Wall, but I haven't seen John Wall play basketball in 2 years. Like literally, I haven't seen him. He's a great player. When 2 years ago he was, top 5 point guard in basketball. I haven't seen him play basketball in 2 years, so I have no idea. You can work out with a guy all you want, but until you see him play in a real NBA game, I could bring you 5 guys right now that's not in NBA, Rich, and we say, hey, let's go work out. You'd be like, why is this guy not in the league? Like, well, you haven't seen him play. You see him work out. It's a big difference.
Right, and then the word is that Harden was also working out with Durant and Kyrie here and thought maybe this would be good to do professionally. Word that he might go
I think he always works out. He works out at a gym. I know about this guy named Chris Brickley, who's a big trainer in New York. They work out that gym all the time. That's not unusual. There's a guy in L.A. now. He works with with Sacramento. He runs a gym out here. Those guys work out those gyms all the time, and they play with each other. That's not unusual. If you're in the basketball community, that James Harden and Kevin Durant and Kyrie were in the same gym at the same time, it's not unusual if you know the circuit.
No, sure. And it's not unusual anymore for guys to be working out and saying, you know what, this is fun. Let's do it professionally, and then strike a deal.
But Carmelo's in that gym, and all of this, the Siakam is in that gym in L.A. Like, all of those guys work out together. There's, like, even when I was playing, there's like 5 gyms around the country that everybody used to go to. Like, when you're in that town, you're going to be like, let me get a run in. Let me get a run in. But so it's not unusual. So I wouldn't read into the whole he's working out with Kyrie, and I wouldn't read into that, honestly. Mm-hmm. But I would read into the fact that this guy might not feel he can win a championship any longer in Houston. Mm. And you look at their roster, you go, they're not better than 5 teams right now. Are they better than Denver right now? Not necessarily. We're going, are they better than Portland? Not necessarily. Are they better than the Lakers? No. Are they better than Clippers? No. Like, you know that. So I can understand the concern.
Well, Kenny the Jet Smith here on the Rich Eisen Show. And then the ultimate question right now, outside of Los Angeles here, obviously, would be the question involving Giannis and the Bucks getting Jrue Holiday and trying for Bogdanović, not landing him. And this appears to be their message to him as he has this decision by December 21st to accept the Supermax or not. What do you think's happening there in Milwaukee? Best you can think on this, Kenny.
I think Giannis is in the same boat as James, but he still has years to do it. I think because he's younger and he's more, at the upswing of his career going. I have an opportunity to really create a legacy that most players don't. So, and it's a different era where guys have to be convinced that you're all doing that. Where I think 10, 15 years ago, you would say, you don't have to convince a guy. A guy would say, I'm going to be here because I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same ownership group. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same coaches. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same management, same general manager. Things flip so fast in the NBA now, and, that it isn't the same management group. It isn't the same team that does it. It isn't the same ownership team primarily. It is the same coaches and the same thing. You look at, there was 9 new coaches last year in the NBA. It isn't the same. So the environment changes and doesn't allow players to have that freedom of thought.
What would you do if you were him?
If I was Giannis, I'd be like, if I was Giannis, mm-hmm. I would sit down, I would play this year, and I wouldn't worry about it until the end of the year. I wouldn't think about it. I was like, we're going to see how this year goes. And because Milwaukee also, they change a lot of their management in terms of, general managers and presidents over the last couple of years, 4 years. Let's see who's going to be here. Let me see if I really engage in that before I make a huge decision.
Well,
it's not like I'm going to be anything different at the end of the year.
Right. So if you're the Bucks, wouldn't you take that as an indication of we got to get him out of here? We better get something for him? I mean, wouldn't that set off a whole bunch of alarm bells?
That would be like, for me, if I was the Bucks, I'd be like, hey, this is who's going to be here making the decisions for you. Trust these people. Mm-hmm. And those people I would be at every game, every practice, every workout that Giannis does to let him know that we're here. This is the group that's going to be making the decision, and we're going to be happy with you. You're going to be happy with this group. And you're going to have certain input. That you might not have the final input, but you will have input. Like, at the end of the day, we still have to kind of say, yeah, that's a good move. But we're going to, put you in some of these kind of conversations.
Kenny the Jet Smith here on the Rich Eisen Show, the Jet Academy, an online basketball camp for children of all ages. We'll talk about that in 1 second. Just put a pin in that. One last item to hit you on, talking about the Giannis decision and talking about what Harden's thinking. Is this all just rearranging deck chairs with Anthony Davis re-signing with the Lakers and LeBron getting his extension and Schroeder joining the team. They're getting younger, if not better. And now Zach Lowe reporting Pau Gasol might think about joining this group as well, with Dwight Howard having left. What do you think, Kenny?
No, it's not rearranging lawn furniture, because the lawn furniture, Anthony Davis was part of this discussion 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So, like, if he doesn't make that move to the Lakers, or they don't make that move and get that trade going, then all of a sudden LeBron James is in the middle of the pack of the Western Conference. So this isn't lawn chair moving. This is billion-dollar business or multi-billion-dollar business.
Well, I guess I mean for the rest of the league, that it doesn't matter what the rest of the league is doing. This is the Lakers' world, and there's no catching them based on these decisions.
No, you could catch them, because there's players just as good. Like Giannis is not looking at the Lakers and going, we can't assemble a team close to that. Or James Harden's not saying, I don't think I'm just as good as Anthony Davis or LeBron. I don't think those guys are thinking. They're thinking like, I'm just as good as one of them. So all I need is somebody close to him. You know what I mean? And then we got some pieces around me, and I can get those guys. But right now, I don't know if I have next to me all of that. And I don't know if we have a commitment to keep doing that. So it's not lawn chair. This is like, these are real decisions that can change the landscape of basketball if you make the right one. And there are certain franchises who historically don't make the right decision, and they get close. And then they don't understand the mindset of a champion and how to create that. They have a skill set. They get guys with a bunch of skill, but they don't have a mind. They don't understand how to read into the mindset, and they don't bring in the right players. They don't make the right draft picks. Miami's not in the finals by accident. Like, those aren't the best 10 guys that you can imagine. Jimmy Butler with, a guy who's been on 3 teams in 3 years. These aren't the guys that everyone says these are the guys. You know what I mean? Tyler Hero from Kentucky, and, Kendrick Nunn. And, these aren't the guys. They're in the finals. There's a reason. There's a mindset that is brought about that you have to have as well. And Pat Riley and those guys down in Miami and Spoelstra, they have it.
And I guess if Clay was healthy, you could talk about the Warriors just within their own division, their own conference. I'm wondering
exactly. They have the mindset. The Warriors have the mindset. The management staff, have, everything that you're talking about. They don't make decisions. When you talk about Bob Myers, he doesn't make decisions that you don't go, man, you can win it all making that decision. You know what I mean? You're at the top of you're back at the top of the heap making that decision. That's every franchise doesn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Masai, Ujiri, he makes decisions that you go, the layman can see. Internally as basketball people, and even yourself, Rich, being in the mix, you go, man, that was a deep decision how he made it. But the layman could see it. People who don't follow the game every day and go, man, they might get it. They might win it all.
Let's talk about the Jet Academy, sir. There's a special deal available through the holidays at jetacademy.com. I'll give you the floor to remind everybody what this is and what they can get right now, especially.
Yes, I'm excited. Holiday season's here, everybody. So get a pen, get your phone out, tap it in, thejetacademy.com. What we're giving away right now is when you sign up for the 1 year, which is $29.99 a month, less than $1 a day, you get a free T-shirt, free basketball, and JBL headsets. But what that gets you is really it's a streaming service, and you work out daily and weekly with your favorite players. We just have a new launch with Draymond Green, T.J. McCollum, Kobe White, Kendrick Nunn, as I mentioned earlier, Cole Anthony, all of these guys, Nasir Little, all of these guys are now part of the Jet Academy, and you get to work out and stream live with these guys. Work side by side. It works on any device, anywhere. All you need is Wi-Fi or cell service, and you can log in, and you get all of those things for $29.99 a month. Again, thejetacademy.com. Write it down. Put it under the Christmas tree, and now your kids get to work on their game because Zoom school is going to be out. And you're going to be like, what am I doing during the holidays with my kids?
Mm-hmm.
Get them out there working
no doubt.
for an hour. And there it is. You got an hour on me, and I actually do classes as well. And, you work on shooting, all of that. I'm not moving as fast as, Emmanuel Quickly, who's signed up, one of the rookies, or like I said, or Draymond Green or C.J. McCollum. But I'm showing you how to get your shot right.
Yeah, and then you can also run back sessions available for playback on demand. So if you can't hit that 1 hour, you can do it whenever you want. And previous,
you can go playback. Exactly, you can go back and see Kemba Walker, Trae Young.
That's right, Trae Young.
All those guys. Breonna Stewart, Brittany Griner. All of those people are on the playback. So
yeah,
Oladipo. We've already done session.
Yeah,
Oladipo, without question.
He's a good dude. I hope he's going to come back as strong as ever here. So
he said he's healthy, man. I talked to him the other day. He said, man, it's the best he's felt. He's like, I'm almost there, Ken. I'm like. He said, I think I'll be there in like 3 weeks. I'm like, oh, that's perfect timing.
That's good. Fantastic. And my kids know his work from The Masked Singer as much as the Indiana Pacers as well.
Funny.
That's a fact. Hey, Kenny, loved talking to you. Best to you and your family around the holiday season. Tip-offs right around the corner, man. I'm looking forward to all that. And so let's talk as regular as you're up for it. I'd love it.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
Right back at you. That's Kenny Smith. At the Jet on TNT on Twitter, at thejetacademy.com is how you can get involved. And I cannot tell you how, if you can steal an hour or two from just taking your kid and saying, go and check this out and get out there and actually move around as well.
Absolutely.
That is huge. That would be what we call huge. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.